So cervical cancer is a type of cancer which affects the reproductive system of a woman. This is a part in the woman reproductive part, specifically the genital parts.
Okay.
Yeah. So cervical cancer is caused by a virus.
Okay.
Called the human papilloma virus. There are quite a number of human papilloma virus, but 13 of them are cancer-causing viruses. You can live with it for more than 20 years.
Without knowing?
Without knowing. And that's where now the problem lies. Because the majority of the sexually active women, they are at risk.
Hello there, how are you? Uko fiti? Mimi pia niko poa. Welcome back to the 2 is 1 show with your girl Kawe Mercy. Today, our topic is cervical cancer. Tunataka kuongelelea hiyo story ya cervical cancer kabisa. Tunajua kwamba since the month of January all the way to the month of June imekuwa ni cancer awareness period, and we really want to look into this thing because as we know we've lost so many of our people to cancer, na sasa tunataka kujielimisha na pia kujua more about this cervical cancer so that we know how to prevent it, na kama tuko nayo how to deal with it, na kama hatujui how we can get checked and get to know our status so that we can be able to live better lives. Na leo kwa show we have a guest whom I want him to introduce himself to you.
Thank you very much, Mercy.
Yeah.
My name is Rogers Moreithi.
Yeah.
I'm a medic and an activist.
Okay.
Or yes, let's just call it activist. I do cervical cancer awareness initiative.
Yes.
Whereby we educate the community about cervical cancer, the causes, what can we do to prevent, and I hope with this show we will be able to educate our mothers, our sisters, and everybody in the society, including men. Though it doesn't affect men but
directly.
Yeah. But tutaiangalia ndiposa tuweze kuelimishana, tuweze kuona ile janga tutalitatua namna gani.
Kabisa kabisa. Moreithi, karibu sana kwa show.
Thank you.
Actually, hata men in our affect.
Sure.
Not directly, but when your wife has cervical cancer, it affects you a lot. When your mother or your sister has cervical cancer, it affects you because you're there. You have to take care of them. You have to see them through this journey. And you know, I believe hata kama kwa mwili haiku affect, inakuguza pakubwa sana as a man in the lives of these ladies. So, karibu sana.
Thank you.
And feel free.
Thank you.
Na maybe we can start by you telling us what is cervical cancer.
Thank you. Cervical cancer, can I use a Kiswahili or
whichever language you feel free.
Thank you. So cervical cancer is a type of cancer which affects the reproductive system of a woman.
Yes.
I mean the cervix part. And when we say cervix, this is a part in the woman reproductive part, specifically the genital parts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what are the causes of this cervical cancer?
Thank you. So, cervical cancer is caused by a virus.
Okay.
Called the human papilloma virus. There are quite a number of human papilloma virus, but 13 of them are cancer-causing viruses.
Okay.
And this human papilloma virus is the type of virus when it's introduced in the cervix.
Yes.
That's why it can be safe. You see, the virus when it reaches the cervix, it is comfortable. And when we talk about it, it's very hard to know if you have been you have been
Exposed to
infected
it.
or exposed to it. So you can live with it for more than 20 years and
without knowing.
Without knowing, and that's where now the problem lies, because the majority of the sexually active women, they are at risk, to say. So, and the virus is not like the HIV virus. This is a virus which before it causes cancer or the cervical cancer, unless your immune system is compromised or something of sort,
it can stay there forever.
It can stay there forever
and do you no harm.
No harm, unless you just get a screen.
You provoke it.
But that's where now the danger is, because you can imagine how many men you have slept with as a lady since you became sexually active.
No, actually, I wanted to come to that.
Yeah.
Like, where does this virus come from?
Thank you. So the virus is a sexually transmitted virus.
Oops.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a sexually transmitted virus, and men are considered to be carriers.
It doesn't affect them.
Men don't have cervix, so they will have the virus, but
oh my God,
they just spread it. Yeah.
So it's unless you're screened, you cannot tell if you have it.
Unless, because you see, viruses, they do not have any cure. And with this human papilloma virus, a man, let's just give a very straightforward example. Since this man may have unprotected sex with a certain woman, or a lady, and this lady has the virus. So you see what happens. This man will go and take the virus to either the wife, and she will not know. And when we will be handling about prevention, we'll see what can we do, or what can the society do
to prevent it. So there are no other causes for this cervical cancer?
No other causes. It's just caused by human papilloma virus, which is a sexually transmitted virus. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Now this comes to our morals and the way we carry ourselves around.
It's not like HIV. You see, HIV within some few weeks, a month, you will just start feeling some signs, and you will automatically know that you have been infected. But with the human papilloma virus, you just taste the virus. As I have stated earlier, unless maybe you have some other conditions, that's why it will. There are the risk factors which will make it to just cause cervical cancer in a faster way. But when you live a normal life,
it just stays.
You can, yes, for even more than 20 years and above.
It's a bit scary.
There is hope.
Yeah. About tell us, what are the signs and symptoms of cervical cancer?
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, when can someone detect or just be aware that she might be having a cervical cancer?
And maybe something is wrong, something is not right somewhere.
And we always advocate for the health benefit, or for health purposes of your body as a lady.
Yes.
You see, many of girls, teenage girls, they tend to assume some things in their bodies. And that's why we always advocate that if you feel something is not okay, it's good to seek medical attention. When do I say so? For example, one of the symptoms of a cervical cancer, whereby unaweza jua uko na cervical cancer, maybe you have been when you are experiencing your periods, you may note that you have experienced bleeding even before the actual date zimefika, and maybe it's not the first time imekuwa recurrent. So we always advise that it's good to seek the gynecology services, because there you will be monitored.
Okay, what you mean is maybe my cycle is maybe for 28 days,
Yeah.
or rather maybe 26 days.
Yeah.
But in between, before this time, I experienced some bleeding.
Yeah.
Heavy or light?
Heavy.
Heavy.
And there is something else I would also like to note. You see, when cervical cancer, it has some stages. So there are the precancerous stages, the first stage, second stage. So it happens that when it's in a certain stage, stage 3, when you are having a intimacy with your partner, you are not comfortable. You bleed.
It's painful or
it's painful. Then you bleed after you have been with your partner. So those are alarming signs.
Okay.
Because it's not normal. It's not normal. So this bleeding, the bleeding, there is a normal flow, and then you may experience your flow maybe this week, 2 weeks, unapata una bleed tena, and then you don't know. And something also enye inaweza kunote, unaweza fanya unote haraka, because this bleeding can be painful.
Okay.
Right? It can be painful and you don't know. And having seen that, there is also you know there is the normal way that your distance should be. And this is where now most of the ladies hawajui. Probably your distance is smelly, odor, and also iko na blood hivi. And the way there is the normal distance should be. So when you experience such a thing, we always advocate, seek for medical attention, because for example, there are many things that may link to the odor smell of the discharge. So, and the diseases like trichomonas can link to that, but we always tell you go for a medical checkup so that it can be detected na ufanyiwe vipimo, so that once imepimwa tunaweza jua sasa this lady maybe ana trichomoniasis infection, maybe she's suffering from this, and once tumefanya test then we detect hauna hii, then we may advise further consultation.
You're able to be treated for the right infection or something. And now in this bleeding, some ladies experience blood clots when they're having their menstruals. Has it got anything to do with the signs and symptoms?
Not per se, because that's normal.
Okay.
You see, a normal flow, kuna siku zake.
True.
Na normally you know your cycle. And once you have this infection, you see this is a sudden change. You have been experiencing your normal flow normally for quite years, but all of a sudden unaona maneno imeanza kufanya change. And another thing, if you are not using any family planning, then you see you have to just know yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes also family planning
interfere. True. They interfere with the cycles. Now, with those signs and symptoms, do we necessarily have to wait for the signs and symptoms for us to get checked?
Thank you. So before I answer that question, I also want to highlight another symptom.
Okay.
Which you may be able to detect. And this hurdles the women who wamefika menopause. So you see, for a woman mwenye amefika menopause,
hana menstruals,
hapaswi kuwa na menstruals. That's wonderful.
True.
But unapata ana EXP. So there are some wenye ukua late.
Wanafika menopause late. Like how old?
Even 50 plus.
But 50 is not late.
I'm saying 50 because then normally kuna ile mtu anajua mimi nikifika 42 or whatever nimefika.
That early?
Yeah.
Oh
you
my
see
God.
The way we live, kuna watu mili ya watu ni tofauti. So let me handle that point.
Yeah.
For a woman mwenye amefika menopause, unapata an experience bleeding. And that's why now I always tell the youth, whoever will watch this show, and you have a parent mwenye ako hapo na an experience these things, don't take it for granted.
Sure. You hear that?
Yeah. You just ensure that umepeleka mzazi for screening. Why do I say so? Because huyu mzazi ama huyu mama mwenye amefika menopause ana experience hiyo bleeding, then that's a very alarming thing. Na ikifika mahali ana experience bleeding, kumaanisha the cancer imeenda sana
kama stage 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Na sasa you know that's also a challenge. I think we also need to talk to our elderly ladies ama our parents because you realize kama huku sasa Meru, in our culture utapata it's very difficult unless kwa wazazi wenye wako exposed, unapatanga it's very difficult for parents to discuss these things with their kids. So inakuwa ngumu kwa a daughter to know that maybe the mother is going through these things, unless now the lady feel now imefika mahali maybe she needs to disclose ama to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
But I'd also encourage parents and our youths pia, let's be close to each other. As a mother and daughter, I don't think there are major secrets, especially when it comes to health, zenye tunafaa kukuwa nazo. Let's be able to share, because me as your daughter naweza kuwa more exposed than you are as a parent, na I get more information than you do. Utapata hata some of our parents hawakusoma sana, maybe walifika primary wakaenda kwa marriage na vitu kama hizo, so they don't know these things, but wameeducate watoto wao.
Yeah.
Na hawa watoto ndo wako in a position ya kuweza kuwasaidia.
Very true.
So if they keep that distance, like they are not close, hawawezi ongea, hawawezi share hizi vitu woman to woman, then that mother could be suffering in silence.
Yeah.
And by the time hii shida inakuwa detected, inakuwa a bit late. So I encourage youths, I encourage you to be close to your parents, be close to your mothers, be close to your fathers for the sons, because that we have other types of cancers zenye pia zina affect the male gender.
Yeah.
Na unless we are able to interact with our parents freely, imagine they may be suffering there na hawana help, yet you're there and you can be their help.
True.
So the best thing is kuwa close na wazazi wako, at least be able to share these things, so that hata when they are suffering or they are having issues, they are able to disclose them to you.
True.
As their daughters and their sons.
Yeah.
Sindio?
Yeah. Symptoms, the most common ni hizo. And adding on what you have seen, ni kwamba sisi vijana na ndio tuko na uwezo wa kujua haya mambo.
Kweli.
Na ningeomba wazazi ambao watawatch this show, shirikisha watoto wa kike sana kwa reproductive health. Na ni vyema kwa sababu huyu mtoto utaweza kumguide. Masi one thing that hata tunapofanya haya mafundisho kwa jamii, kuna kitu inaitwa ignorance. Ignorance per se nitasema ni kutokuwa na information. Yeah. Yani people are not informed. Because wale wengi unapata maradhi kama haya, and that's why we advocate. Kama ni young teens, we always advocate use protection. Right? Use protection. Because something that it's discouraging. Most of the youths, they fear pregnancy, they fear HIV. Na HIV utaenda ununue kit pale upime.
Ni kweli.
Si ndio? Mimba inaweza
utapata kit pale, hata unidi kununua kit.
Utajielewa tu. Unaweza pata mchumba wako, tumepima sina ukimwi okay, protection tutatumia means zingine. So we just have unprotected sex. What this lady amefanya hajapima HPV virus.
Ni kweli.
Right?
True.
uintroduce kwayo, ukae nayo. Wakati miaka yako itaanza kusonga uko 40s pale, hata utajua ni mwanaume yupi alikuletea.
Hata uwezi jua.
Because umekuwa na mahusiano kadha wakati. So hata uwezi jua. Na yule mwanaume naye, na hiyo ndio nataka wanaume washike sana. Let us, sisi wanaume tujue kukinga, kuprotect our sisters.
True.
Because it's good to be faithful. It's good to be faithful to your partner.
Yeah.
So na pia kwa couples, especially kwa couples. Na hiyo itasaidia sana kupigana na this cervical cancer.
Yeah.
Menace.
Yeah, actually umenikumbusha that when we've had a talk about HIV and AIDS, tulikuwa tunaangalia pia the way people we're being so careless with our lives. Ni sawa, sex is part of us. Na mtu atatoka ataenda have sex hapa pale. But then we fear pregnancy more than these infections. And then, as you're saying, this is also very silent. People think of HIV and these sexually transmitted diseases, these HPV watu hata hawa, I don't think they are even aware of it. Hawajui. Wanaona tu hayo magonjwa mengine kama HIV and AIDS, akina syphilis, akina gonorrhea, akina what have you. Na hizo zingine kuna zenye tunajua ziko na treatment. But then hii HPV, people are not worried about it. And it's very important that we look at our lifestyle. As much as unajienjoy and you think you're living your life, also know that you're exposing yourself to so many things if you're not doing it safely. So I think that one we could also put it in the preventive measures. Of which we're coming to the preventive measures in just a bit.
Thank you.
But before we get there, so someone maybe has already been detected with the virus, and maybe it has progressed to cancer. So from there, what do we do? How do we seek treatment? Is there treatment for this thing?
Yeah, cancer is treatable and manageable.
Okay, so tell us how we go about it.
Thank you. So I want to just take this out of people's mind that once umeugua cancer, sijui ndio mwisho, sijui nini.
Sasa wewe umeenda kuona Yesu.
So naomba jamii yetu, our community, tuache hiyo mafikira. And that's why tunaomba sana na tuna promote sana. People waende for early screening.
Yes.
Why do I say so? This early screening, ukienda upate maybe kwa precancerous stage, stage za kwanza. I can assure you Mercy, treatment, it's very efficient, na itakuwa sawa kabisa. Because we have seen people pia wametritiwa cancer kwa stages zingine, na wanafanya nini?
Wanapona. Okay, do you survive or do you get healed?
You get healed completely. For the first stages, hiyo unajua injeenea sana, not many cells zimekuwa exposed. So the treatment will manage it. Na hata hiyo spread itafanya nini?
Haitaendelea.
Then the 90% actually of the cases za precancerous according to the standard of WHO, the treatment is full.
Wow.
90% ya precancerous stages. Stage ya kwanza hapo mapema.
That is good news.
Because cancer, what happens? Cancer, the cells infect cells zingine.
Sure.
Naona? Once na the more inaendelea ikikua, the more infect other cells. Sasa unapata imefika to stage yenye iwezi kuwa manageable.
It's not manageable.
But once imedetectiwa and once umeenda kwa screening, you see what happens with the screening, the pap smear. Ukichekiwa the what it's normally checked is then the how normal are the cervix cells. And what we detect is if the cervix cells are not the way they should be, the way the cervix cells should be, ukiona hiyo haiko normal, then we know there is a problem. And that always alerts you. And that's why we want to advocate sana, enda ufanyiwe pap smear screening. Sawa. If you are sexually active lady, right? Once imedetectiwa, inaonekana kuna the cervical cells are not the way they should be. Unaanza treatment mapema na itajulikana nini imekosi hiyo. Bear in mind HPV is one of the thing yenye inaweza fanya ni maybe now the cancer, the cervical cancer is starting to develop. Na ukienda hapo utapewa medications na before infect the other cells, the cells zenye zitani, because what happens with cancer is growth of cells uncontrollably. Yani zinaendelea zikikua bila kufanya nini,
kumanajiwa. Na sasa you told me that this HPV it's the main cause of cervical cancer. And it's not treatable, the HPV. The only thing that's treatable now is the cancer if it starts developing.
The virus, what happens to the virus? Virus inaweza zuiwa makali yake kuenea. Alright? So na ikiwa inaweza zuiwa, it means itakuwa effective cause disease.
Just like they do with HIV?
As a kind of.
Okay, this is heavy. Now, with the treatment, because I know we have so much of awareness, can I get these tests done anywhere?
Currently, any health facility, from level 4, level 5, there you can request for a pap smear test. Na ufanyiwe. Na I like the government is really trying as much as possible kusaidia women in the society, because ukifanyiwa pap smear then ijulikane unaweza anza maneno vizuri, and then kundetect mapema ni kuzuri, because hiyo treatment itakuwa cheaper. Sawa?
True.
Itakuwa cheaper na hata less expensive.
It's true.
As compared to sasa iko imeenea sana.
Inakukula pesa kabisa.
Iko inaenea sana. What we it's normally done is management. We are not treating now, is managing. Now why should you wait until uanze kuwa managed yet?
It could have been cured. True. So let's be wary of this. At least tunaenda pale hosi once in a while. How many times in a year should we get screened?
At least twice
a year. At least wacha tuende pale hivi. It's not like it's too costly to go and get checked. Let's be sure of our status. At least tujue we are safe, instead of waiting for the last minute wakati sasa tunajaribu kukimbiza na India sijui wapi, and it's all trying to manage. So having looked at it that way, maybe tunaweza sasa endelea kuangalia the preventive measures.
So before we get to the preventive measures, I want us to handle the risk factors. See, there are risk factors zinaweza lead sasa cervical cancer ichipuke haraka. First of all, we send ukuwa maybe uko na maybe like HIV, pia inaweza lead sana ichipuke kwa haraka, because it's mostly considered as an opportunistic infection. So ina lead to cancer. It's just like TB. Alright? So but now let's say now you are healthy, hauna HIV. There are other factors. First of all, over the counter medications.
Na vile tunazipenda.
It's very bad. Because let me tell you one thing. A certain lady mwenye maybe ana ufahamu. And that's why we normally tunaenda kwa ground. Tukihandle hii kitu na tukiambia watu. Kisikia unauma na kichwa, wacha kukimbia pale kununua painkiller.
Atika Panadol.
Enda hospitali, fanyiwa vipimo, ijulikane shida nini. And saying that because some of the medication tuna take pia zinaumiza miili yetu. Na unajua ikiumia, ukiwa sasa na the HPV now, the virus in your body, najua inangoja immune system yako ishuke tu kidogo hivi. Askari wa mwili wapungue kidogo. And the more you are aging, the more immune system inaenda ikifanya nini?
Ikipungua.
Especially if you are not eating healthy. Right? So hii mambo ya kununua ndawa ovyo hujui nini. Nini inafanya nini?
Hapo umenigonga 10 mil.
That's what happens. Because that's what happens, and it is the fact that we should not live with. We should tell people. Na tunapowaambia watu wanaona ni kama mchezo. But there is no joke. Right? Hakuna joke hapo. The other thing, there are women who smoke a lot.
Yeah, I know that. In our generation,
Sasa, also
nothing surprises.
Yeah, also that is a risk factor. Right? Is a risk factor.
How is smoking now connected to the HPV?
Okay, smoking is connected to HPV because first of all, you are taking a lot of carcinogenic product from the tobacco.
Yeah.
And the carcinogenic product zina trigger sana cancerous cells to develop.
Okay. I hope you're listening.
So we will not just get too much in details, but I think with that is a very strong point.
True.
And the other risk factors, there is also some studies have shown that long use of oral contraceptives. Some contraceptives which are very harmful in your body.
Do our doctors tell us that? When as women are going to the hospital to seek these services, do they advise?
They do. They do. Because when I talk about oral, when you see most of the hospitals, ukienda pale utapewa the other methods of family planning. When I say oral, like for example, let's say now a girl ni teenager.
Yeah.
Anapata mimba ama have unprotected sex, anakimbia pale P2. Wiki ya kwanza anakunywa P2 hata mara 3.
Okay.
Hiyo wiki ingine yako hivyo. Ile ingine yako hivyo. You see, the more you take, the more the drug iko kwa mwili yako. Na the more inaendelea kufanya nini? So we always advocate it's good ujijue, just have protected sex to be okay, because the more you use the oral contraceptives, the worse
it is for you.
Yeah.
It exposes you to so many dangers.
Dangers.
Wow.
Na unaumiza mwili bure. So it's good ukingangana hivyo, kama uko sexually active, uko mature, just get married. Hii mambo ingine ya kukaa kutumia vitu sana sio mzuri.
Ni kweli. Na sasa by the way, we look at that as we even address our teenagers, our youths, our young people. Hiyo P2 pia si ati ni mzuri sana. Because pia kwa reproductive health, tunajua it has so many negative effects. So it's good to be safe. Just play it safe. Love yourself. Jua huu ni mwili wako. Don't do it carelessly as if ni mwili umeomba ati kesho utarudisha. Hapana, this is your body na una expect na unataka pia uishi miaka mingi. So usione leo tu, jua kuna kesho na another day. And another day.
True.
We continue with the risk factors.
The risk factors, I think hizo zinatosha. And because majorly inakuwa hapo kwa sexually transmitted infections.
Yes.
Na the reason why nilisema pia kuseek kwa attention ni mzuri. Naweza pata maybe uko na other sexually transmitted diseases. Na wewe unakimbia tu unakunywa ndani. Right?
Unafikiria ni kahoma.
Maybe uko na syphilis, wewe unakimbia pale. Hii vile nasikia, sikia kunjikuna unakimbia unapewa dawa. Dawa utapatiwa utakunywa. Lakini you never know. Maybe hata cancer cells zimeanza kuprotrude the cervix. Wewe unajisikia kunjikuna tu, you are not comfortable and you are having intimacy with your partner. Sasa hapo unaona hii unakaa tu, and then pia men it's good to have this conversation with your lady.
True.
Ni vizuri muongee. Kuidetect mapema. And that hiyo statement napenda kurudia sana. Kudetect mapema kwa cervical cancer ni kuzuri. Ni kuzuri sana. Because hapo kutreat itakuwa vizuri na yani utaona tu ni mzuri.
It will save you the hassle sasa ya kusema unaishi na kitu. Sasa you have to manage. It at least gives you an opportunity ya kukua cured. Well, we encourage ourselves now to keep testing.
Thank you. Thank you. So we're checking on the prevention measures. And this is where now I want us to be very keen. you see in everything huwa tunasema ni vizuri kuzuia.
True.
Right? Kutreat itakuja kucost nini lakini vizuri kuzuia. Na nataka this statement niweze kupatia our mothers out there na wazazi. Mercy, some shocking things is the reason why nimekuambia ignorance. Watu wengi sana assume hii mambo. Na a mother uko na mtoto msichana na pia wa kiume ni vizuri waambiwe pia. Muambie jinsi ya we are not advocating for early sex.
Yes.
But ni vyema kusema maneno vile yalivyo. This exposing yourself to early sex ni mbaya because ujui au kaka kijana unaenda nako na sasa wewe umeanza ukua miaka 16.
Asante sana, tunashukuru. And now my friend, tunashukuru pia kwa kuwa pamoja nasi this whole time, ukaparticipate, ukatusikiza, ukalearn na pia sisi ukatu encourage. Until next time, bye bye.